There's a pretty interesting new book by journalist Cathryn Jakobson Ramin, and the book is called Crooked: Outwitting the Back Pain Industry and Getting on the Road to Recovery. Now, the book is being criticized by some as just a way to offer a solution to back pain by selling this book. But there's actually a lot of really good stuff in this book, and I've been following the back pain industry for a long time. And the book talks about some of the areas of the back pain industry that might be well known to you and some that may not be. So this includes unnecessary painkiller prescriptions, which can lead to people getting addicted to opiates and ultimately getting onto heroin, injections, surgeries, so-called chiropractic adjustments. We've talked about chiropractic many, many times before. And there is so much here that I think the average person would benefit so much from learning about. And back pain is one of those conditions that has been identified in a group of conditions by, for example, the recently deceased Dr. John Sarno, who is a controversial figure in evidence-based medicine, no doubt. But Dr. Sarno and many others subscribe to the idea that there's this group of conditions that are very common cause of a visit to your primary care physician, very rarely lead to a definitive diagnosis as to the source of the pain or problem. And back pain is one of those. Headaches, GI issues, frequent urination, fibromyalgia is on that list. And to be super clear, because every time I talk about this, people get mad, I'm not saying that everybody who's been diagnosed with those conditions has a psychosomatic condition, right? I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that much of what goes on in the diagnosis of these conditions ultimately leads to nothing or unnecessary treatments. And a really good example of this is MRIs. You will have a very common situation where someone goes to their doctor and they've got back pain. All right, we do an examination in the exam room. Nothing is obviously wrong. So let's do an MRI. MRIs, of course, are very expensive, and part of the reason they're expensive is because of all the bureaucracy and medical billing and everything that exists within our medical system. But you go to this expensive MRI, you spend 45 minutes in the MRI machine, and you meet with your doctor to look at it. And the doctor says, hey, you know what? You've got a disc that looks like it might be pinched, or you've got a vertebrae that appears to be sort of under pressure. The great news is we've got a surgery that we can do. And very often people will get the surgery done and they might get some short-term relief, and very often the pain comes back. And what is missing in that is that if you were to go out on the street and recruit random people who report no back pain and give them an MRI, many of them would have a similar, you've got a possible nerve being pinched there, or, that vertebrae doesn't look exactly right, but they have no back pain. And thus, you have many people through this MRI scheme being diagnosed with back pain as caused by something in the MRI when it may be completely unrelated. Another sort of self-fulfilling prophecy that happens is you've got people who might start to have back pain, maybe as a result of anxiety or depression or stress or whatever the case may be. And as a result of the back pain, they completely stop exercise, they stop walking, etc. And that makes the problem much, much worse. And that's led to the development of many procedures that really rarely work too well for people. Spinal fusion surgery, for example. This includes the removal of worn out or injured discs and then the fusing together of the vertebrae above and below that. That costs a ton of money. Average price tag is 80 grand. Success rate is 80%. This is completely separate from chiropractic work. And as I've talked about, chiropractic, effectively pseudoscience. Many people report feeling better after they go. Part of that, it appears to be related to sort of the endorphins that are released from the chiropractic visit themselves. So you immediately feel better. And then eventually the pain comes back and you think, oh, well, I need more chiropractic work to be done. These are just some of the ways, Pat, in which this has become a major business. And it's really sad because so many of these conditions, back pain just being one of them, are related to lifestyle and related to other things that are going on in people's lives. And so much money is being made off of it.
Well, especially because people are being duped, right? You go to a doctor or someone who just seems to be a medical health professional. You want to be able to trust that person, and if they're offering some pseudoscience to you, you may not even realize that's what's going on.
And so this applies both to the more pseudoscience solutions as well as to what I guess we would call, evidence-based medicine, in the sense that we're talking about Western medicine, but that's unnecessary in many cases. It's really a sad situation that's going on with back pain, and actually with a number of other conditions. And the book is very, very interesting. Yeah, the author probably wants to sell books. I don't doubt that. Everybody's got some financial incentive. But there's some interesting stuff in there, and I recommend checking it out. Today's sponsor is Tagadab, the hosting specialist. Whatever your hosting needs for your business or project, Tagadab can do it. Dedicated servers, virtual private servers, cloud server solutions, co-location, custom server solutions. And the big thing at Tagadab is their customer support. Over 70% of their business comes from repeat orders and recommendations from existing customers. This is a testament to the great support that they give their customers, currently rated a 9.7 out of 10, according to the Trustpilot review system. With a growing number of people interested in moving their businesses and projects to the cloud, Tagadab currently offers our viewers and listeners a 20 British pound free credit, about 24 US dollars, to all new customers that sign up. Gives you a chance to try the service. This is a limited availability offer for the viewers and listeners of the David Pakman Show. To take advantage, go to signup.tagadab.com/TDPS and use the offer code TDPS20 during account registration. Support our sponsors and support our show in doing so. Signup.tagadab.com/TDPS. Coupon code is TDPS20.